I got a show called The Parkers. After I was in Hollywood less than 90 days.
Wow.
90 days. And you have agents and you have managers and you have attorneys, right? And they're telling you all the good things. And everybody always said to me, you want to get the syndication.
Yes.
You want to get the syndication. Once you get the syndication, you work because you want to work.
Right.
Right?
So syndication is what, 5 years, 100 episodes?
Syndication is 100 episodes.
Okay.
Right? So that's all I knew. I didn't know to ask to be an executive producer of my own image. Oh, and nobody told me. I didn't know to ask for that. I didn't know to ask for, after the 3rd year of being on a successful sitcom, that you could say, I now need a bonus. I didn't know to even negotiate that, and no one told me to negotiate that.
They're definitely not going to tell you.
All they kept saying is, when you get the syndication, when you get the syndication, when you get the syndication. Well, 3 years in, The Parkers was in syndication. Now, no one told me that. You learn it once you open your eyes, because now I'm going around the country doing promos. The Parkers is coming on at 4 o'clock in your city. The Parkers will be on at 2:30 in Sacramento. Y'all make sure y'all watch The Parkers. It's coming on. I'm not knowing I'm promoting the show in syndication. No one told me that. All we're doing is saying if we get to 5 years, we got to 5 years. 110 episodes, me and a beautiful young lady named Countess Vaughn, who was my baby to this day. We had the Laverne and Shirley law, right? You're supposed to be equal.
Yeah.
Once we got to the 5 years, my attorney, and the agent said, oh, the Parkers made money. Y'all gonna get paid from the Parkers. It's made money. Okay. Years go by. By 2004, the Parkers, we went off the air in 2004, right? In 5 years, by 2009, the Parkers had made $800 million.
You're like, oh, yeah.
Stay with me.
Money.
Yeah. Hey, come on. Hey, yeah. All right. Okay. Because we waiting to get this money, Shannon. Check is coming. We get a call. We got to do an audit, and everything. Okay. And that was in 2009 that it made $800 million. We're now in 2024. And they're trying to convince Countess Vaughn and I that show made no money.
No.
They're trying to convince us that a show that cost roughly $65 million to make. In our last year of shooting The Parkers, Countess Vaughn and I made $55,000 apiece.
That's it? How much were you making an episode?
$55,000 an episode.
Okay, so how many episodes did you shoot that last year?
5 years. That last year, we shot 22 episodes.
Okay.
We made $55,000 apiece at the end of a top-rated sitcom.
Hold on, time out. Are you saying you made $55,000 for 22 episodes, or are you saying you made $55,000 per episode? Because I want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly.
Let me make sure you hear me correctly. We did 22 episodes.
Yes.
We were paid $55,000 per episode.
Okay.
For 22 shows.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
That's on a hit show.
Right.
That is unheard of.
Yeah.
Because we're two black women, I don't know to fight for it.
Right.
Countess is a baby in this business. So I don't know to say that.
We should be making $100,000, $150,000, $200,000 an episode.
So now today, y'all want to convince us that show made no money? That show has made over $2 billion, and I'm guesstimating. And you want to convince us that our percentage, we made no money? We can't allow that to happen.
Right.
That's why we're fighting. That's why we're saying, no, guys, we can't sit on our hands like that.
Right.
You know how many of us, when you watch Good Times, when you watch The Jeffersons, when you watch Sanford and Son, whose family is benefiting from our images? Because the damn show ain't ours.
Wow.
You see why I fight the way I fight?
Yeah.
Because if it does not make sense, you have to explain it.
Moesha, how did that come about?
Moesha?
Yeah. You had an audition for Moesha, right?
No, sir.
Hold on.
No, sir.
You didn't get on Moesha?
I did. I say this not to be but I never auditioned.
What?
I've never auditioned. They've called. I think I thought I was auditioning for a Burger King commercial, but what it really was the agency I was with at the time,
Right.
just trying to blow smoke.
Right.
You know, making me think I'm doing something.
Right.
But to audition, when I first came to Hollywood, I told this guy named, I believe his name is Marc-Henri, and I told AJ Johnson, and I told a sister named Kimberly Brooks. I said, I'm not auditioning. And they was like, okay, like your fat ass. You not auditioning? Okay, fat ass, we'll see. That's what they did. They laughed. But I meant that. I'm like, what you see is what you get. I am not going to, especially now. Especially now, why ever would I audition when I've got the highest award that you can get in this business called acting? And why would I do that?
Right.
Because once I do that, I devalue me. If you can't look at my work and say, that's what we want, then no, thank you.
Right.
Like they'll send emails and they'll say, what's Monique availability? None of your business. I don't know you. So you just going to send an email and want to know what's my availability. I'm offer only. I am offer only. So again, we got to be careful what we say yes to. What Sidney Poitier say? It's not how many times you say yes. It's how many times you say no. And the moment our baby auditioned, they got set up for no trailers. They got set up for no food. They got set up for no drivers because now in their mind, they think you're desperate.
Right.
So when Oprah does the one-on-one with Taraji and she begins to run down her credits, the great Taraji P. Henson, then why ever would you allow the audition to happen? Why ever would you allow that? Why wouldn't you go to that studio and say,
She doesn't have to.
she doesn't have to, I handpicked them. So either our sister's not as powerful as we believe she
Right.
is, or either there's not the concern that she tries to make it look like it is.
But you turn a couple of appearances on Moesha into the Parkers.
This is how the Parkers happen. Normally you shoot a pilot,
Correct.
right?
Yes.
And the pilot, they decide whether or not they're going to do the show from the pilot, right?
Yes.
Okay. Countess Vaughn and I, when I go to a meeting with a guy named Larry Little at Big Ticket Television, and at the time my agent was a woman named Susie Unger. They're trying to sell a talk show.
Yes.
We have a meeting. He says, listen, I don't need her to do a talk show, but if she can act, she has her own show. My agent said, of course she can act. Well, she didn't know if I could act or not, but I said, damn it, of course I can act. They brought Countess Vaughn into that meeting. That was at 1:00. By that evening, they were negotiating the deal for the Parkers. The way they introduced the character, because they always talked about Kim's mother on Moesha,
Right.
they introduced Nikki Parker in an episode of Moesha, which was the pilot spinoff
Right.
to the Parkers. There was never an audition. There was never any of that.
So now all of a sudden you got your own sitcom.
Shut up. Come on now.
You go home and you like, from Bmore, Maryland, from what I went through to this.
Yes.
Are you looking around like, damn it, I knew this. I knew this day was gonna happen.
Yes. 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 And you know how you know something as a child?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you know you were going to play professional
Yeah, absolutely.
football? I knew it, Shannon. I knew it. Like, I knew as a child, and I say this humbly, I knew the world would know my name. Like, I knew that.
Right.
So once you in it, you be just like, I still can be in a supermarket and somebody say, Monique, is that you? And I still can tear up because I'm like, I'm here.
Right.
I remember when I got my first parking lot at the Parkers. I didn't know I had a parking space. And they would send out emails to say, if you're here for the Parkers, park outside the gate. That's how naive I was. When you asked me, was I naive? So I would park outside the gate. Even though I'm one of the stars of a show, baby, they said if you with the Parker, because there's no 101. There's no Hollywood 101. There's no introduction. They just say go and you're supposed to get it.
Yeah.
So I would walk across the parking lot all the way over to the set, to the stage, till a brother named William Tripp was in a golf cart one day. He said, Mo, what you doing? I said, going to the set. He said, why are you walking across the parking lot? I said, oh, because they said if you with the parkers, you got to park outside the gate. That brother laughed, but it was a brotherly laugh. He said, come here, baby, let me show you something. And I got on that golf cart, and he drove me to my parking space that had my name on it. That was a moment for me. Like I'm pulling up to a studio, and that's my name. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who was in the slow class. That's the little fat black girl from Baltimore, Maryland, who didn't have a lot of friends. A lot of people didn't want to deal with me. But that's my name on that parking space. Now, do you see why I fight like I fight? Because it's all possible. But what happens is we then lose ourselves in the possibility of what we're getting. And now we're too afraid to lose it. So all the principles, all the morals, all your values, they don't go away. You just push them to the side. Because you know what it's like not to have gas money. So I'll just, I just go ahead and do that a little bit.
Right.
My soul won't let me do that.
Why did you want to become famous? You asked me earlier, did I know that I was going to play in the NFL? And I told you yes, because I wanted to play in the NFL because it was going to get my grandmother and my family into a situation they probably would have never enjoyed without it.
Come on.
That was my driving force. That was all I thought about, Mo. Given your family situation and what transpired, why did Mo want to be famous so bad?
I'm a little fat black girl, baby. And ask another fat black girl. We fight for that attention. Because you wasn't the one picked on the playground to play kickball.
Right.
You wasn't the one picked for the spelling bee. You wasn't the one picked for this. You wasn't the one picked for that. So I was like, one day, I'm sure you growing up, you had your challenges.
Yes.
You were a dark-skinned man.
Yes.
There was a time you stuttered.
Yeah,
I
I wasn't always popping, Mo, now that you brought it up.
Let's talk about it, Shay Shay.
It was the elder barges, you remember that?
Talk about it.
The good
your hair
hair,
wasn't curly. Your skin was black.
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Yeah, now that you brought it up, I wasn't always
what
popping.
that is. So
Yeah.
now to be that. Now to be that.
Yeah.
Now you got to be careful. Because you remember the time when she told you, no, I don't want to go out on a date with old Black Shannon.
Yeah, you know. You're from Glenville.
Let me talk to her right now. Let me talk to your ass that wouldn't go out with Black Shannon. Now you wish you would have went out with Black Shannon that stuttered. Okay, you wish you would have went out with black stuttering Shannon Sharpe's ass. Now look at him. He got the Shay Shay show. I bet her ass up tough. I've been there. I've been there. So we understand it. You know, you understand that drive. You understand that thing in you that says, I won't let nobody stop me. Now, my drive wasn't that I wanted to get my family out of poverty because I've always grown up in a middle class environment. So it wasn't that we were dirt poor, you know, we didn't have no whole lot, but I didn't look at it as we were in poverty.
Right.
For me, I just wanted the world to know me. And then once I had a son, right? I was very young when I had my first son. I didn't want him to have to go to a college because that was all that my parents could afford. I wanted him to be able to do whatever he wanted to do. And there was a sacrifice in that, right? Because when you're trying to go get it, you're missing this right here.
Oh, you miss a lot.
The nurturing, you miss all of that.
Yes.
So, you know, all of that had to be dealt with. So now with this group, with my second set of children, I'm a different mother than I was then. So my whole thing is, even right now, we want to make sure that when we leave here, our babies are good.
Right.
And their babies are good. And had Tyler Perry not told that lie, we would be on our way to that. And I know people saying, why she keep going back to that? I'm going to keep going back to that shit, Shannon Sharpe, till he takes accountability for it.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party because you know we like to do something before two something.